UFC 326 is here, which means it's time for the most dangerous activity in MMA, making predictions with confidence. So today we're breaking down the biggest fights on the card, looking at the odds, a few key stats, and of course my picks. We've got Michael Johnson versus Drew Dober. This fight is basically a coin flip according to the betting odds. But here's the thing with Michael Johnson. He might be the most unpredictable fighter in MMA history. He can look incredible against elite competition, and then lose a fight nobody saw coming. Meanwhile, Drew Dober fights like someone who set their video game character's power to maximum. Drew Dober hits so hard, I sue him for secondhand concussions every time I watch him. Betting on Michael Johnson is basically emotional gambling. So my pick here is Drew Dober. Next fight, Raul Rosas Jr. versus Rob Font. Rosas Jr. is coming in as the betting favorite around 218, with Rob Font around 180. And this matchup is basically youth versus experience. Raul Rosas Jr. is still incredibly young, but already fighting legit competition. Meanwhile, Rob Jr.'s wrestling pressure is just a huge weapon though. So I'm going with Raul Rosas Jr. in this one. Next up, we've got Gregory Rodrigues versus Brunno Ferreira. And honestly, this fight probably doesn't need much analysis. These two hit extremely hard. Rodrigues is known for absolute wars, and Ferreira is one of those guys who swings like every punch is a knockout attempt. These middleweights don't really believe in defense. Someone in this fight is definitely waking up wondering what year it is. This feels like one of those fights that ends violently, so I'm taking Brunno Ferreira. Co-main event, Caio Baralio versus Reinier de Ritter. Right now, Baralio is a pretty solid betting favorite at around 300, while de Ritter is sitting around plus 240. And stylistically, this fight is interesting, because both of these guys are extremely good grapplers, which means there's a decent chance this fight turns into a very technical battle on the ground, or 15 minutes of them pushing each other against the fence while the commentators say, "This is high level." Nothing scares casual fans more than two elite grapplers. If this fight turns into a grappling match, my Tinder date will think we are betting on gay porn. Baralio has been looking really solid in the UFC though. Good control, smart pressure, improving striking. So my pick here is Caio Baralio. Main event, Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. Right now the betting odds have Max Holloway as the favorite, sitting around 225. Charles Oliveira comes in as the underdog around 185. And this fight is chaos in the best possible way. On one side, you've got Max Holloway, one of the highest volume strikers in UFC history. The guy lands over 7 strikes per minute, which basically means if you blink during a Max Holloway fight, you might miss 20 punches. The guy delivers more shots to the face than me on prom night in 2006. Then on the other side, you've got Charles Oliveira, a guy who might be the most dangerous submission artist the UFC has ever seen. But Oliveira has this weird habit in fights. He gets rocked, he gets dropped. He looks like the fight might be over, and then suddenly he's choking someone unconscious. Charles Oliveira getting dropped in a fight is basically part of the opening ceremony at this point. Max Holloway throws so many punches the judges might need a calculator. This is honestly one of those fights where something crazy probably happens. But I'm going with Charles Oliveira, because betting against a guy with the most submissions in UFC history just feels like a bad life decision.